Denuvo finally loses one, so does Twitter, and AMD's winning. I don't know. This is a weird episode of Hot News, everybody. Welcome back to the hottest tech news I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast this Wednesday, July 26, 2023. We are obviously currently on the road for LTX 2023 on our way to Vancouver doing our drive stream, which you can come watch over on Twitch. We do have the PC that we picked up from Micro Center, the i9-13900K RTX 4090 that we're going to be giving away. And you can win that by coming to watch us over on Twitch. We're going to do our best to get that signed by all of the tech YouTubers at LTX. Fun stuff. This is weird for me.
Great.
What?
You're doing great.
Thank you. But with that all the way, let's go ahead and record this on the road edition of Hot News. And starting off, we're going to talk about how Denuvo finally got removed from your favorite game of the century, Forspoken. Everybody here played it, right?
Woo! 100%. Best game.
Okay, all right.
Absolutely not.
One of the things that was definitely a problem with Forspoken when it came out was the fact that it did have game-breaking DRM, and now it's finally being removed by Square Enix as a whole. The company's choosing to do it didn't necessarily get broken, but this does seem to indicate a trend that's happening in video games as a whole, where they just have Denuvo or some other DRM that's available at the beginning so that they can make sure that they make all of that initial sales money and then can remove it when the game's at a discount and they've already stymied all of the losses that they would have had if it was easily able to be pirated at the very beginning. Is this a win for you? Obviously, we are talking about a game that I think most people aren't excited to play. Let me know what you think of Denuvo being removed from Forspoken while I let you know about today's video sponsor, which is actually really important considering we're like driving a car across America right now. Today's video is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, and as many of you know, I was recently bedridden from severe nerve pain in my neck. During that time, my mind raced at all of the things that I just couldn't do, like cook, clean, take care of myself, work, didn't even film Hot News, or even take care of my kids. Now, thankfully, we found out that my nerve pain stemmed from having shingles and not from any sort of injury, but it was scary to see how quickly my life changed just overnight. And I have been constantly running through the scenarios of how possible it is to have an injury just upend my life from an accident or otherwise. But thankfully, I know that the one thing I wouldn't be daunted by is the process of getting an injury claim submitted. Because with Morgan & Morgan, submitting an injury claim is so easy. Morgan & Morgan has modernized the injury law process so you can submit a claim and have it reviewed by a lawyer without ever having to leave your couch. And as somebody who is in nerve pain, that's a big deal. Not having to get up and do anything. You can sign documents, upload pictures, share medical records, and doctor's bills all from your phone. You can even text with your attorney and case manager without ever having to go into the office. And when you're injured in an accident, hiring an attorney is one of the first things you should do. And with Morgan & Morgan, submitting a claim is so easy. More than 3 million people have trusted Morgan & Morgan when they're injured in an accident. So if you're ever in an accident, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Submit a claim in 8 clicks or less, and you can have America's largest injury law firm fighting for you. You can get started at forthepeople.com/UFD or dial #law. That's #529 from your cell phone. Big thanks again to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring today's video. And just like you can submit a claim with Morgan & Morgan on your phone, you can actually now talk to ChatGPT if you have an Android device. This has been available on iOS for the last little bit, but now ChatGPT allowing you to tippy tap to the AI on your phone, probably going to help to make it more like a general search function where people can just write off whatever random thought is in their head on their phone instead of having to go to the website. Do you guys use your Android phone for ChatGPT at all?
No. Who has an Android phone?
I have 2.
While ChatGPT is expanding its reach, so is Threads, the competitor to X.com. Are we Zeeting now? How does this work?
I Zeeted all of.
What? Reece, what does that even mean?
I've been in a car all day. I'm just saying things. There's no filter anymore. I don't know what's happening.
All right, well, you should be closing that thread, maybe wrapping that one up a little bit, because Threads just announced that it's going to have chronological feed, not announcing that it's going to. It has it now, so in case that was stopping you from using Zuck's little spool of yarn, you can now move on over to that in case you want that. And in case you want an electric vehicle, which again is what we're driving across the United States right now, we've got the Ford F-150 Lightning. One of the hottest selling EVs in the US right now is Chevy's Bolt, but they've already announced that they're discontinuing it, which is a bummer for a lot of people, but they are now announcing that they are going to be building a next-gen Bolt. Hopefully this one doesn't continue to catch fire. It's going to be based on their Ultium platform, which is their next-gen battery system, which is not necessarily out yet, but they do note that the success of the Bolt is something that they want to continue. So if you want that EV, that can happen. And I like the success of deals, Reece.
No moment.
Beer me a deal, please. Do you want me to finish and then we'll cut back to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deals! Welcome back to UFD Deals, bringing the hottest tech deals out on the internet. We're doing this in the car and it's weird and I'm done. But first up, we have the Acer 27-inch 1440p 170 hertz
Farts.
VA panel gaming monitor, going for only $169.99. Nice.
People try to convince us that this was a great Prime Day deal when it was $180. And this is $10 cheaper 2 weeks later.
Which makes us only $80 off. And then next up, we have the Fractal Design Focus 2 ATX mid-tower case, going for only...
Sorry, I looked at the price. I'm excited.
Going for only $39.99, making it $30 off for honestly one of the sexiest looking cases
What
I've
is
seen.
How is Fractal getting away with these prices? They've just been having crazy deals
banger
lately.
after banger with Fractal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then lastly, we have the Camry AM06 Pro Mini PC with an AMD Ryzen 5 5500U, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 512 gig NVMe SSD for only $237.95, making it $142 off. And with that, the deals are done. You can find them and more linked in the video description down below. And until next time, I'm gonna hand you back to that guy because I'm stuck in the car with him for the next couple of days.
But I recorded the end of Hot News, so why is this time travel happening?
Because Catlin's gonna insert.
Thank you, Catlin, for cleaning up our mess.
Okay.
Wow, Reece, many deals. I have no idea what you talked about, but one bad deal that it seems to be happening when it comes to Intel, which according to some German news outlets, Intel might be raising the price on all of their core CPUs. At least for what we're seeing right now, this might be across broader regions, but at least right now it's being confirmed by this outlet that it's going to be happening in Germany as part of a surprise price increase alongside them cutting their NUCs. This appears to be some reorganization that's happening on Intel's side. We'll have to wait and see if this is actually going to affect the rest of the market, but we are anticipating that Intel is going to have their 14th gen CPUs launching this October. We're getting PC makers confirming this behind the scenes, but one of the interesting leaks that came out recently was the fact that 14th gen was not supposed to get a price increase, but if they increase the price of the 13th gen, then technically they didn't of the 14th gen because it matches at that point. This is math, right?
The maths.
In this light, I can see a different shade to your earlobe and it's fun. What? Every time I look back, I'm captured by it.
Thank you.
But the CPU that I think I'm most currently excited for is the Ryzen 5 7500F. I've covered this in Hot News over the last few weeks. This is supposed to, at least at first, was supposed to be a Chinese exclusive, but now it looks like that is wrong, thanks to, again, German retailers coming out and saying that they will have this available, but it does look like it's only going to be through system integrators. They're not going to sell this great value 6-core Zen 4 chip directly to consumers, but starting July 23rd, which was a couple of days ago, you can get it in pre-builts with German retailers. Hopefully this expands to all of Europe and to all of the US, because this $180 chip that is supposed to be faster than an i5-13400 and roughly about what you can get from a Ryzen 5 7600 selling at a lesser price, this is just making AMD look really good in the mid-range section. Some people would call it budget. I wouldn't call that. This is still mid-range. We've gotten used to prices increasing over the last little bit. I want AMD to win with the 7500F. It looks like they're doing that. Please bring this out to America, AMD. Don't make me buy another chip from Hong Kong off of eBay in order to do a review. I don't like that. And did you guys like this episode of Hot News? Just sitting as bystanders?
Absolute banger.
I was staring at him, staring at that through the phone.
We'll see you back here for more of the hottest tech news tomorrow. Please don't leave. These work better in an office.
That's enough internet for me today. I am going to wash myself with holy water to get rid of all the stupidity I saw today.